guys, it's Lynn again. I am back and I wanted to respond to a request in one of my comments for a video topic. So today's chat is going to be about custom orders. What is the process like? And I think that my viewer was asking specifically more about Reborn custom orders and that process. So I can definitely speak about that both from my perspective as a collector as well as an artist as well. So anyway, while I chat, I'm going to change Kai into another outfit, and he is going to wear. This is by Babidu. This is a size 1 month, which tends to equate to 3 months. It looks a little long, but you know what I found with clothing is it can look like as tall as the baby, but then once it's on, it'll kind of work. So because the baby has depth, so even though this looks kind of huge, potentially huge on him, I think it will actually fit. So anyway, so yeah, so in terms of well, let me chat a little bit, then I'll change him part way here. So in terms of custom orders, the main thing I will say is like in terms of the process. So as a buyer, I went through the process with Kai. His artist is Melissa George, and I basically picked the kit. So it starts with that. So picking the kit and deciding, kind of what vision you had. And I said I kind of wanted him to look maybe a little bit Asian, maybe even part Asian. So she did dark hair and dark brown eyes, and he looks like he could be like half Asian in my opinion. He's like, but also he could potentially not be Asian at all, but he looks like he potentially could be half. So that was kind of the vision that I had. And but besides that, I mean, I guess you could put in requests for like certain kind of skin tone. But I think picking the sculpt is really the most important. Sometimes, like, I didn't give her any specs around like how much I wanted him to weigh or anything like that. I just figured she would know what would be realistic, for his height and all of that. Um, so okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start changing him. So basically, that is all I did in terms of like selection and details. I know some people like to get a lot more specific, like for example, requesting a certain birthmark. I had one, and then for me as an artist too, I usually, if they're not sure what sculpt they want, I'll try to give them some guidance based on some parameters. Like, does the customer want a newborn size baby, more of a bigger baby, like a 3 month size, open versus closed eyes? Do they want a boy or a girl? And then also, what color hair, what color eyes, if it's open-eyed baby. And then I'm trying to think what else, any other details with regards to skin tone, that sort of thing. So I'll usually try to get all of those specs. And I guess one other thing you'll need to make sure you're clear on is whether your baby will have rooted or painted hair. Like for me, I don't know how to root, so I only do painted hair on my dolls. But there are some artists who, like, this is rooted hair, but it's also, I think she smoothed it down so it doesn't really get messed up, which is really nice. Yeah, so anyway, so you'll want to kind of figure out the specifics around hair, that sort of thing. But I personally don't tend to give my artists, like, I try not to micromanage them too much. I try to give them the rough parameters around like hair color, eye color, skin tone, that sort of thing. But like, I really try to let the artist create the doll according to their vision. So right now, for example, I have a custom being done by Julia Homa. I don't know if she started her yet, but she's the Mei Lian sculpt. And I told her I want her to be an Asian baby, but that's about all I've said. So so we'll see what she comes up with. But I feel like I just like her. I like her work, and I want her to be able to have some artistic vision. So it's totally dependent on you. Like, some people want to be more specific on different details, and some prefer to kind of let their artist run with it. So, and I think most artists like being able to run with their vision, because it's sometimes really stressful to try to create the doll exactly to the customer's specifications. And I always just tell the customer I'll do my best, but I can't, and it's especially hard sometimes with customs when the only photos they've seen of that sculpt are the prototype pictures, and I'm not a prototype artist, so it can be a little intimidating trying to create a doll that hopefully they'll be happy with if all they've maybe seen are the prototype pictures. But oh my goodness, oh, he's so cute in this. This is such a simple outfit. It has these like little shark teeth on the pocket, and it's so simple and basic. It's just this dark gray sleeper, but in the back, I love this. It has these like little snaps. So, oh, he looks so cozy and so cuddly with this. He's such a cutie. So yeah. Anyway, hey there, little guy. I'm gonna give him a little snuggle. Kai is my only boy that I have left in the nursery now. So, well, I still have Noah, but Noah is, and I still have my Jackson for sale as of the filming of this video. So, but Noah is on layaway. His new mommy's making payments on him, and then Jackson is still for sale. So, but I will add another boy at some point here. I'm contemplating if I want to paint and keep Joseph 3 months. I'm not sure yet. He's so big. He's going to just take up a lot of space. So not sure, but I think that sculpt is so cute, and I just love chubby babies. So yeah, we'll see. Or maybe I'll see one from another artist that like grabs me, or maybe just something totally different. But I'm really not like actively shopping for reborns right now. I'm really trying to just focus on enjoying the dolls that I have, and I'm very, very excited for my son's silicone portrait, my son Ethan. So that baby is, Andrea's working on that sculpt right now, which is super exciting. So given that I'm expecting that baby, and I'll also have a final payment to make on Mei Lian, I'm really not in the market, although I came very, very close to bidding on a doll by Samantha Rose Harker on eBay the other day, so which I think I talked about. Okay, so in terms of custom orders, the other thing to talk about is like payments, and how that works. Like, so some artists will do a deposit, and then they'll make your doll, and then once the doll's ready to ship, you'll pay the balance. And then others, like myself, I'm fine doing a layaway and make as many payments as you'd like, but I won't start painting the doll until after the doll is paid for in full. And the reason for that is because I don't want to have like 10 dolls lying around that are kind of waiting for, I just don't have the space to store them. And I also paint reasonably quickly once I get started, so I can usually get a doll done in a month, so sometimes sooner, but usually it'll take me about a month from start to finish. So it's given that it's a pretty decent time frame, I try to get just have the payment taken care of, and that also, kind of takes some of the risk away of, because I've seen situations where the buyer backs out, and then it's really tough for the artist because they've painted a doll according to that buyer's specifications, and it's not really fair. So I know of other artists who have a similar policy that I do, and but with Mei Lian, for example, I did a deposit, I think maybe 1/3, and then she'll invoice me for the balance once she's due. This is my third doll I've purchased from her, so so I think we have a really, and I think due to the fact that she said it would be a long, long wait, it's already been 6 months since I think we were corresponding about the custom, maybe almost 6 months. So it's which I don't mind, because I'm really not in a rush. So and that's the other thing. I tend to leave my artists alone, but the process, but I do think that it is. It's okay to check in every once in a while if you want, but just but I think you don't want your artist to be like stressed out trying to like be under time pressure and maybe painting your doll under suboptimal conditions. So for example, if they're just like really busy and stressed and tired, maybe they're not feeling well, you don't want them painting your doll when they're feeling like that. You want them to be happy and in a good mood and painting for the love and the joy of it, because ultimately this is an art, and you kind of have to be inspired. And sometimes I'm like, for me with painting, I'm just sometimes not feeling it. Like I just don't, I'm not in the mood. I've had like a long week or whatever it is. So for me, for example, I think it's been, I'm working on a custom, but it's been a couple weeks since I've worked on it because I just have been traveling. There's just been a lot going on. And I want to paint when I don't force it. So if I'm not feeling it, if I'm not in the mood, I don't force it. Um, so yeah, that's at least how I like to work. But I know that for me, it's more hobby, and I know some artists, it's more a full-time occupation, and so they may not have that luxury of being able to say, you know what, I'm not really in the mood to paint today, so I'm just not going to do it. I don't mean to be, flippant about that, but yeah, no, and I think that yeah, sometimes, I mean, it's just part of life, right? Sometimes we have to do what we don't feel like doing, but I personally never want to pressure my artists. I want them to really go at it at their own pace and all of that. So, um, but yeah, because the custom order process can definitely be tough. I think the waiting, because artists, some of the more popular artists will have a pretty long line of customs, and it may be months and months before you get your doll, and so and that can be really tough, in terms of that wait period. So it's just something to keep in mind. But the nice thing about customs is you really get you get to kind of create the vision for the doll. You get to select the kit, and it's kind of nice. Like I actually kind of enjoy anticipating that doll, and getting to nest for that doll, knowing like, okay, I'm going to be, when I knew I was going to be getting a phoenix, and I just like love this sculpt. And Andrea did an exquisite job on him. I just adore him. He's just a sweetie pie. But yeah, it was fun anticipating. I knew he was going to be coming home, and I could buy some clothes for him and that sort of thing. So that is definitely a nice thing about customs. But yeah, that's pretty much the process. You really should research sculpts. I always point people to McPhersonCrafts.com and BountifulBaby.com to see examples of different sculpts. And I always tell them my pricing depends on the price of how expensive the sculpt is, as well as the size of the baby, because I always quote a price that includes shipping, just to make it easier. And the size of the baby and weight definitely affects the shipping cost in a big way. So yeah. So that is all I have to say about custom orders, I guess, for reborns. And with silicones, it's very different, because I've done 3 custom. Let me think about this. So Emery May, Melina, and Baby Lynn. Those are the 3 I've done so far, and the Baby Ethan project is underway. So with the custom silicone babies I've done with Andrea, I basically have sent her a bunch of photos, and then just gave her kind of some of my list of preferences around, like, open hands or closed hands, what size roughly, and then, kind of in terms of the pictures I sent, like which ones are my favorite. And so that kind of thing. And, so those are kind of the specifications. And then like what kind of silicone blend I want to use. And so those are all part of the conversation. And there's a lot of emails back and forth and things like that. So yeah, so she had, for example, like with the Ethan project, like she sent me the initial photo of him, and it was, so we're trying to do a smiling baby. I think it'll be so cute. But the initial photo was so cute, but it just didn't look like him, to me at least, quite yet. And I know it was like still very rough form and in clay, but I think we're gonna just chubby him up a little bit, because Ethan was a really cute little chubby guy. So just to make it look more close to him. And that's the thing that's hard with customs, and especially if you're doing a portrait baby, that like, it may be hard to get the resemblance exactly right. And so yeah, so if you're like super finicky and fussy about it, wanting it just so, you just might want to work with you might want to make sure, from a price perspective, you might want to find an artist who is really comfortable doing that, like taking a photo and then really creating a baby to look like that photo. I've seen some really amazing portrait babies, but customs in general, like a lot of them are not portrait babies at all. It's just, hey, I really like the sculpt. I'd love to have a, for example, a Saskia with blonde hair and blue eyes, or whatever your preferences might be. Or I want a Levi with, you know, brown hair, or whatever it is. And so, yeah, so each situation's a little different. But I hope this was helpful to my viewer who requested the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Kai's gonna say bye. And let me just show him to you guys again. Just like how cute he is. And he's a 3-month size baby, in case that those of you guys who are wondering. He's the Phoenix Sculpt by Andrea Arcello. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.